of the courtroom, under bright white light. Two plastic hearts found love at first sight. One had a bullet hole, the other had a frown. But when the trial paused, oh baby, love went down. It's hot mannequin love in the court of law. No breath, no blood, just a flawless jaw. Struck a pose, then struck a spark. Made of fiberglass, but lit up the dark. Hot mannequin love with the lenses askew. Who knew Exhibit A would look so into you? She leaned just right, he's sweet just so. Like Cupid fired a dart through a Velcro torso. The jury looked confused, the bailiff blushed, the stenographer typed. Objection, they're flushed. Hot mannequin love, no heartbeat, no shame. But they set off fire at a dart through a Velcro torso. The jury looked confused, the bailiff blushed, the stenographer typed. Objection, they're flushed. Hot mannequin love, no heartbeat, no shame. But they set off fire, the law's just the same. Crime scene dolls, now courtroom flames. In love so real, it should be in chains. Hot mannequin love, not legal but true. Just don't let the judge catch them kissing in view.
Man, I'm going to miss that song. But don't worry, we have a little while to go yet before it goes away. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was good around here. Busy as usual with Miss Mad Dog. And fall decided to make an appearance. Not happy about that. Not happy at all. The corn needs to start sweating again, and let's get those August temperatures up. It's supposed to be 90 plus and hot this month, not 60. Whew. All right, got that off my chest. Hello, June. She says, my first time to be on time. You've been busy. A jury last week kept you guys late and busy. I am good, Flash Fan. Had a good day. We went with Bree and we took Mad Dog to her very first dentist appointment. All good. Her 2 teeth were good. She did just fine. But she does have 4 top. Her 4 top ones are all about ready to pop through at once. So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Sharon? How you doing? Gabby. Hey, AJ. Hey. Oh, Gabby, you should type, hey, Gabby. Hey. Hello, Bri. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Well, only because you're here, Zach. How you doing? My neck is all just itching up a storm. Gabby? Yes, what Zach said. No. No. Just saying. If fall went to spring to summer to, fall, I'd love fall too. But I know fall leads to winter and snow and ice. Ugh. And that's how I feel. Hey, dog mom. Oops. Copycat, Gabby. Hello, dog mom. I hope you had a good vacation. I am sure it was well deserved. I'm jealous that you had some time in the sand. Ah, June, no. No, no, no. I do not. I think I grew up in it and I loved it. But I don't get like snow days anymore. So maybe they don't even really have snow days anymore. It's e-learning days. Yay, Monday. No. No. Oh my gosh. There's already Halloween stuff out in the stores. I'm like, "Stop. It was July." Like, no. No. And no, I have not seen any pumpkin spice stuff out yet. I haven't looked, of course, but I did see pumpkins and fall stuff and Halloween stuff, and it was weird. After the past 2 weeks, you're craving some snow? I am not ever craving snow. I feel like I need Carmen here to read these. Alaska's beautiful. I love to look at it in pictures, like snow. I love to look at snow in pictures. If the summer here had no humidity, yeah, yes, I understand. And corn sweat. What's up, Tank? How you doing? I hope it does let you chat. It's been a little lately. Sorry, Gabby. I don't know. Not here. And she was just sending me stuff, so shame, shame. I don't Zach, I'm not touching that one. Stop. I can't. Yes, she does what she wants. She does do what she wants. Okay. All right. We don't have much to do tonight. We are going to only have 2 witnesses. Both of these witnesses are friends of Miss Betty Broderick. Yes, Zach, don't let the secrets out. Oh, my phone went off. I thought it was probably like Carmen texting me. It was not. That would have been hilarious. What's up, Ash? Good to see you. Hope you're well. I'm not ignoring you, Flash fan. I'm looking right at you. You were talking to your sister, but you're here now. I saw it all. But anyway, we have 2 witnesses. I forget what the Rosamund something Brown is the first witness. I know you didn't say me. I was just I know, Flashman. I was giving you a hard time. And the second witness is Diane Black. I watched the long enough to get their names, and that's all I did. So I'm sure they will help Betty a lot. Hey, old soul. How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Good to see you. So let's get started with Miss Brown, Mrs. Brown. I don't know. I think when I was trying to find her name, like trying to make, because I had to listen to her name several times. I thought she was, never mind. I'm just going to hit play. Has anyone seen Flashman Zach? Whew. All right. I have it sped up just a little bit. If it's too fast, let me know. I'll slow it down. May have to slow it down when the state questions, does her cross-examination anyway, because she tends to speak a little faster. But if it's too fast for anybody, just let me know. Let me know what the sound is. Should be good, but you never know. And the chairs, I did hear them a squeaking, so you've been warned.
Record and spell your last name? Rosamund Brown, Brown. Thank you.
Ma'am, you know Betty Broderick here at the end of the council table,
Yes, I do.
and approximately when did you meet her?
In 1987.
And could you describe are you a friend of hers, an acquaintance? How would you describe your relationship with her?
A good personal friend, I believe.
And how often would you see Betty in the course of a week? If you can give us an estimate.
We would be together 2-3 times a week on average.
And what kind of things would you do together?
Mostly, we walked down at the beach, one of the beaches or other, just to get exercise and to talk.
Did what time of the day would you usually go to these walks on the beach?
Early in the morning, like 6:30 something.
In 1989, were you aware of whether Elizabeth Broderick was trying to get custody of her children?
Yes, she was.
And did you see her at all in the summer of 1989?
I saw her a lot, yes.
Okay. Now, during the summer when she was trying to get custody of the children, how would you describe her? How was she doing?
In 1989, she was excited about the possibility of having the children with her and wanting to have this all accomplished during the summer so they would be settled by the time school started.
Okay, now before the summer of '89, had she been different? Would you describe her different before the summer of '89?
Yes, before the trial, very different because things really weren't going well and she was depressed and upset, lonely.
Would you see Betty with her children?
Yes, I did.
And how was she when she was around the children?
Absolutely beautiful. Just they loved her, she loved them, and I could tell that they were just very much cared about each other and wanted to be with each other. Was happy. They were happy together.
Now, sometime after the summer of 1989, did there come a time where there were some problems in the hearings on getting her children back?
What the rules? You can answer that, just yes or no.
Would you ask me that again, please?
Did you become aware of some problems in proceeding with some hearings on getting her children back?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you see a change in her at that time?
Yes. Her anxiety level was very high, and she was wondering again, is summer going to be all over and still no resolution on this matter?
Did you receive, on November 5th, did you become aware of the problems Mrs. Broderick was in? Become aware of an event involved in shooting?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how did you become aware of that?
A phone call very early in the morning.
Okay. Approximately what time?
I didn't look at the clock, but I was still in bed, asleep. It had to be before 7, I'm sure.
And who did you receive the call from?
From Diane Black.
And after you received the call, what was the next thing you did?
She had given me a telephone number where Betty was, and I wrote that number down, and then I called Betty at that number.
Okay. And did you talk to her?
Yes, I did.
How would you describe her emotional state over the phone at that time?
She was absolutely distraught and devastated. She was crying, and she didn't know what to do, and asked me, what she should do, and I was totally devastated too. I didn't really have an answer for her or to try to help her at that moment.
What did she say? Did she say anything to you about being involved in a shooting or shooting a gun?
She did.
And what did she tell you?
She said that she had been over to Dan Broderick's house and that she had fired a weapon, but she didn't know if she'd hit anyone.
And did she ask you anything? Ask you any advice?
She did, like what she should do or anything like that.
Is there anything that you tried to do?
I just tried to comfort her and to, tell her that I would come over to the phone booth where she was, just to be with her and to at least stay there until I got there.
What did you do in regards to trying to find out where she was?
I asked her where she was and if there were some landmarks. She said it's just near a phone booth at a gas station just off the freeway. And she told me about where the exit was on the freeway, and she identified I think a Coco's restaurant, which was across the street, and at the moment, that's all I can recall of the identifying things, but from what she told me, I was able to find it.
Why was the reason you needed identification of things around there?
Because I wasn't sure which gas station it might be or where exactly. She was kind of disoriented, and I needed to know kind of where she was because I was driving over to meet her.
Was she able to give you any streets?
I think she told me the exit off the freeway, but I can't remember what that exit was right now.
How long did you talk to her on the phone?
Oh, I don't think it was 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes or something.
And what happened at that time? Was there a reason that you discontinued the conversation?
Yes, she was wondering what to do, and we were talking, and I didn't have a suggestion at that time of what to do. And she said, "I know. I'll go to Lily's." That's her daughter.
Okay. What did you do after? Did she hang up as soon as she said that?
Yes, she did. I said, "I'll be over to see you. Stay at the station where you are. And I'll come over to be with you." And then we hung up, and I knew she was going to call Lily, so I got dressed real quickly and dashed over there.
And you dashed over to where?
To the phone booth where she had said she was.
Was she there?
No, she wasn't.
Now, what did you do after you drove to the phone booth?
I wondered, where she might have gone. So I went by her condominium, which she was just moving into, and she wasn't there. Her car wasn't there. So then I went to her home, and her car wasn't there either. She wasn't there.
And when you went to her home, did you do anything at that time?
Yes, I went up to the door to see if anyone else was there.
Okay. Was there somebody there?
The boys were there, Rhett and Danny.
Did you know where Lee lived at that time?
I did not. No, I didn't even have her phone number.
Okay. Were you able to get the phone number?
I didn't get the phone number, but I asked the boys if they knew Lee's telephone number, and I think it was Rhett went and dialed the telephone and called her on the phone.
Did you talk to Lee on the phone at that time?
Yes, just briefly.
And did you talk to Betty?
Yes, I did.
And what was the conversation at that time?
The conversation was that it was a little bit difficult to talk with the boys around, but at the time I was talking with her, a neighbor came, and so the boys were talking with them. And I'm not sure if that's the moment we talked about. I suggested that it would be good if she maybe were to turn herself in, and that to please let me know if she decided to do this, and maybe I could help find an attorney who was available on Sunday who would be willing to help her in that process.
Did you attempt to locate an attorney for her?
Yes, I did.
And did you know whether Mr. Broderick had been shot or was dead at that time?
I did not.
Did she ask you to get anything from her house at that time?
No, nothing.
Did you take anything out of the house?
No.
Okay. Where did you go after talking to her on the phone?
I asked her to please call me at home and that I was going home, and I went home after talking with her.
Okay. Did you call the police at all at that time?
No.
Were you told to call the police or not to call the police by anybody?
No.
Did you receive a call at your house?
Yes, I did.
And you remember what time that was?
Oh, I don't remember. I could guess maybe about 9:30, but it's simply a guess. I really don't know. Time went so fast.
Who was calling at that time?
Betty.
And what was her mood at that time?
She had decided to turn herself in, and wanted not to do it alone.
Okay.
She was afraid, and she was distraught.
Did you agree to meet her?
Yes.
And where did you meet?
We met at a parking lot at University Town Center.
And who was there?
She was in the car with Jason, who was Lily's boyfriend, and Lily, and Diane Black was there.
And was there a discussion about getting legal papers from her house?
There was, but I don't remember where that came from or who suggested it. I don't have a recollection on that.
Okay,
But I know there was a discussion of that.
Did Elizabeth Broderick, did she fill out any paperwork that you witnessed?
In the car,
Yes.
yes.
And what was that?
That was a holographic will written on a piece, as I recall, yellow paper to give to Lily.
Did, was there, at some point in time, was a lawyer contacted?
Yes.
And do you know who called to try to find out, to try to get a hold of the lawyer?
Well, I did, and a friend of mine did. And we
Okay.
finally located an attorney who was willing to meet with her and help her in the process of turning herself in. And I made a phone call at the little place where we were and introduced Betty to this attorney, and they made arrangements for us to meet him at his office.
I have no further questions, Joe.
We'll take the recess before we cross. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take our morning recess at this time. Please remember the admonition. We'll be in recess until 5 minutes after 11.
Also, I was reading chat. I don't know. I don't know. I was stuck on this woman looking like Tink's ex-mother-in-law, and what an Betty Panda lamp is. I don't know. Oh, I got it. I got it. It just had to say it. Now I got it. That was Betty's attorney. Hey, takes weird to know weird, Flash fan. Also, Flash fan, some of your comments are so funny to me because I hear you and saying them in your voice. Okay, so that was short, to the point. We'll see what the state has in store for Miss Brown. I'll bump it down just a tad, because I know the prosecutor speaks quickly. Me too. That's why I don't know what's going on. Guess that makes me not a good streamer. Ms. Boogeyman. Ah. I just keep thinking of my science teacher, RIP Miss Engel, because if you're still alive, you have to be the oldest human being on earth. You're gotta probably at least be 120 plus. I don't know. I hope they put your hot pink lipstick on you for your final viewing. And that's how you went to rest in peace. Hey, I can't help it. I loved Mrs. Engel. She was hilarious. She was so funny. She was old. That's what made her hot pink lipstick hilarious. Because it was the 80s, so it was N, but you have to be, not everyone can pull off hot pink lipstick. I can't. She could not either. And it bled. So, like, you know, in the fine line. Sorry. Yes. Like, R.I.P. Mrs. Engel. I'm sorry. I mean, well, it was. It was the 1880s, and Laura Ingalls was her sister. Just saying. Flash pan, dang it. Sharon, that sounds delicious. If I was not stuffed, I had chicken myself. And we are distracting you, dog mom. I am so sorry. We are not a good influence. I'm trying. I've not thought about that lady forever, and now I can't get her out of my mind. It's weird. It's hey, don't come visit me, Mrs. Dingle. I'm okay. I didn't say I would be 129 years old. I said she would be 129 years old. Am I what? Are you though? I don't know. MLS, like Dave, you can't ask me hard questions on a Monday. I'm probably not sorry. And I probably am a bad influence. I'm not sure what you're asking, which am I though too? You had a high school teacher that was your mom's teacher? Wow. I had teachers that were my brothers and sisters' teachers, which would all be okay, but they're quite a bit older than I am. Was her attorney annoyed with her today? Well, wouldn't you be also? I mean, why is he calling her Elizabeth? I don't know. Maybe he's going for like, I just need to, I gotta zip my lips today. They are, and I don't know what's happening to me right now. Yes, sorry. Sorry. See, if you give me on the story of school teachers, I've got good ones and sad ones, and so see, I'll just look at this lady and remember my science teacher from 8th grade, Mrs. Ingle. Also, I don't think she made me do a science fair project. That's probably why she was my favorite teacher, because I hated those things. I only did one, and I hated it. Dang, I thought I lived in a small place. Maybe you don't live in a small place. You guys just all went to the same school. Yeah, for science fair projects. I can't remember a teacher ever trying to take my pepperoni. He was. I don't know if he still is. What's up, Daddy Shortnuts? They do arts and craft after trials each day. I hope they lay the mannequins down on the paper and draw around them, draw their bodies, and then I don't know what they do. Whatever. Holy crap. 83. My dad's 84, and I cannot imagine him teaching kindergartners. He might have to have a liquor drawer if he had to do that now. And maybe even before he was 83, probably even when he was 33. Yes. Whoops. Oh, small towns. You grew up in a town that had a population of 500. The common say about my town is everyone is dying to get in there. Wow. I grew up in a small town, but it was 5,000. Now I live in a town of 2,200. Yes, they do need to teach them how to draw a proper chalk line. you know. Oh, by the way, you know how picky YouTube is about things. So I had YouTube generate a thumbnail for me today, and I went into one of the other videos that had this same intro, the Hot Mannequin Love intro, and the thumbnail that it came up with me for was two mannequins sitting in the courtroom facing each other with one that had a huge hole in its head from a round. I'm like, can you imagine if I actually used what YouTube told me to use as my thumbnail and that was it? We wouldn't even be here. They would have taken me down. Speaking of lactation. Thank you, Zach. I did need some milk money. My tears were a little salty for the cereal, but it's okay. Now it's okay. I'm very thankful for you, Zach. Greencastle X, it's coming up. I think it's like 3 miles ahead of you. Your first grade teacher was 86. Holy crap. I'll see if I can find it. I clicked out of there. I'll see if I can get it to generate it again. I would be in so much trouble. I'm like, stop trying to get me in trouble, YouTube. Not nice. All right, I've wasted enough time. Let's go.
Good morning, Ms. Brown. This incident occurred on November the 5th of 1989. Do you recall that just a couple of days afterwards that a police detective attempted to talk to you and take a statement from you, and you refused to talk to the detective and give him any information?
That's probably true.
And several other attempts were made by investigators after that point in time to get some information from you or find out what you knew about what occurred on November the 5th, and you refused to give any information.
I believe that's true.
And obviously, any information that you would have had at that time about any of the specific things that Elizabeth Broderick told you that morning would have been much fresher in your memory at the time, correct?
Probably. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I can't, maybe, I didn't hear your answer, but I don't think maybe the microphone needs to be,
You want the answer right back?
or shall I repeat the question?
Either way.
It's obvious that if you had talked to someone back then on November 8th when you were contacted, that you might have been able to remember more details about what was said to you on the morning of November the 5th.
It's possible.
You indicated that you first met Elizabeth Broderick in 1987, correct?
Yes.
And so at that time, she'd already been separated from her husband for over 2 years.
I believe so, yes.
You met her at a HALT meeting?
I believe that was the first time I met her, yes.
Okay, and can you describe for us what HALT is?
It is a legal reform national movement headquartered in Washington.
And you have periodic meetings here in San Diego? Do you have monthly meetings or what?
We did have. The chapter is not in existence anymore. It's in a different form right now.
Okay, how many people were in the chapter at the time when you met Elizabeth?
Oh, we had a fairly large mailing list. Do you mean the members or the people who attended meetings?
The people who attended meetings.
Not very large.
And Elizabeth Broderick was fairly active at those meetings, so essentially sharing her feelings about what she felt about the legal system.
She was there a few times. I would hesitate to guess how many meetings she attended, but she did attend some, yes.
Okay, and was she not fairly vocal about her feelings at those meetings?
She was explaining her situation, yes.
Well, she wasn't shy about it. She didn't just sit there and keep quiet. She was sharing her feelings with the rest of the group and asking for support from the group. And in fact, the group went to one of the contempt hearings. Is that not correct?
Thanks, Dog Mom. Oh. Well, Gabby. Welcome to the jury pool. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that very, very much. You guys are talking about your old teachers, and I'm just. That's crazy. Daddy Shortnuts, I told you to scroll up, but I'll tell you. Gabby called her the Crypt Keeper's mother. Flashman called her the boogeyman. Pink called her ex, said she looked like her ex-mother-in-law. I said she looked like my 8th grade science teacher, minus the hot pink lipstick. Did I miss one? That's how we got on the subject of teachers. And now you know. If I had the more you know, I would play it right now, but I don't have it. You all got it going on in your heads. Ding, 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 ding. Yep, see? See? I don't have that. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the magic school bus. Identical twin. I do not have an OnlyFans. You had old teachers, hippie teachers, square teachers, and a few more. We had fun in high school. You graduated in 1976. I was alive, Flash Man, but I wasn't in school. I was 3. Before you get your calculator out. I do not have an OnlyFans. Would have no fans. Also, nobody made a joke about the organization her and Elizabeth, Miss Betty, were in being called the Hulk. I mean, I had all kinds of jokes in my head. And none of, Gabby, you said none. But it's okay. I wanted her to tell us what it stood for, and she didn't. Oops. Just kidding.
Yes, that's correct.
And you sat in through numerous hearings or several of the court hearings with her as a support person.
I did, yes.
You sat through the entire trial with her as a support person.
Yes, I did.
Now, when you met her in 1987 through the HALT group, did you immediately become a close friend of hers, or was there a period of time before you became actual friends?
I think we became friends almost immediately. I had a great deal of sympathy for where she was.
Now, was there a particular reason that you were involved in this HALT group? Had you been involved in a bad divorce?
My involvement with HALT had nothing
she
to do
said
with
HALT.
my divorce.
Darn
As a
it.
matter of fact, HALT had, I don't know what they're doing today, but at that time, family law was not one of the areas that they were involved in.
And you indicated that you walked on the beach commonly with Elizabeth Broderick in the morning, is that correct?
Yes,
When you say that, what do you mean? A couple of times a week, a couple of times a month?
2 or 3 times a week on average.
And do you live in La Jolla yourself?
Yes.
How far away from Elizabeth Broderick did you live?
Not 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, depending on the traffic lights.
Driving distance as opposed to walking distance, is that what you're saying? Okay, and where would you meet if you were going to walk on the beach?
Usually she would pick me up where I live, and we'd go together in one car.
And what time in the morning would you do this?
I believe 6:30 in the morning.
So was that sort of that was a standard sort of thing? That it would be about 6:30 and she'd come by and she'd pick you up and then together you'd go walk on the beach?
Right. It was very refreshing, good exercise, and
And you were also there during those walks, obviously, to be a friend, to listen to what she had to say, and to listen to her troubles.
absolutely, I sympathize with her very much.
And you were a very supportive friend. She had you there to talk to a lot about her problems, correct?
Yes.
And on the morning of November the 5th, she did not call you that morning about walking on the beach or call you to talk about anything, correct?
No.
She hadn't called you at any time on Saturday to talk about any of her problems either?
No.
And she hadn't called you on Friday, the day before, Friday the 3rd, to talk to you about any of her problems? When was the last time that you actually saw Elizabeth Broderick before November the 3rd? Excuse me, 5th?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was before she and Brad went on their trip to Mexico.
You indicated that you saw her with her children and you did not believe that there were any problems whatsoever in her relationship with her children. Did you not see any problems between her and her daughter Lee?
I wasn't looking for problems, but I have been through the teen years, and I know some of the ups and downs of parents and children and mothers and daughters. I saw a fundamental, basic, loving and caring relationship both ways.
Were you there at any times when she had arguments with Lee and kicked Lee out of the house?
No.
Were you there at any times when you heard her use bad language towards Lee, call her bad names?
No,
You never heard any of those
no,
conversations?
I was never in the.
Did you ever see any writings that she made towards Lee and their disagreements?
No, I don't believe so.
Now, you indicated that she talked to you at least a little bit during the summer of 1989. Did she talk to you about the fact that she was represented by an attorney at that time, Walter Mon?
Yes, I knew she had tried to get the custody situation settled.
Did she make any statements to you about the fact that he was optimistic about getting the children and she felt optimistic about it?
What time period? 89 you're talking about?
Yes.
I think when it first started, she was very optimistic and she was very hopeful that it could be accomplished during the summer months so that the children could be in a stable environment when school started. That was always her what she wanted to do.
Wasn't she also optimistic about it in October, for example, shortly before she took her trip to Acapulco with Brad Wright?
No, I don't think so, because school had started in September and it had not been resolved at that point. I don't think she was really devastated, because I think being a former teacher, changing schools
Excuse
in the
me,
middle
I
of
know
the year.
you've
is-
answered my question.
Yeah.
Did she show you any letters or any documents at that time that suggested anything about not getting the children?
Hey, AT1. How you doing? Hope you're well. We had a good weekend. We are all good. We are maybe a little crazy today. Just warning you now. Better get on it, Flash fan. Also, just remember her birthday is just almost a month after mine. She's 2 days short of being exactly 1 month. So when you think of her birthday, just kidding. Also, Miss Piggy was selfish and rude all the time, Gabby. She was only always thinking about herself. If you like Miss Piggy, don't come after me. It's just a joke.
I don't believe I saw any documents, but the fact is she wanted them before school started. And she wanted that settled, and it wasn't settled even at that time.
No.
Now, on November the 5th, the morning of November the 5th, when you received the phone call from Diane Black first, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that was at about 7 o'clock?
When I received the call from Diane, I think it was before 7, but I don't have a recollection of that time. It was early in the morning. I
Were
was
you-
still asleep.
You were still asleep. You were still in bed when you received the phone call?
Still asleep.
And what exactly did Diane Black tell you?
I don't remember exactly what she told me, except that she had had a call from Betty, and that a tragedy had happened. Betty was at a phone booth. She gave me the telephone number and wanted me to call her there.
Okay. She didn't give you any more details?
I don't
what had happened?
remember that there were any more details on that particular phone call.
Did you, when you say that a tragedy had happened, did you ask her, well, what are you talking about? Did she get in a car accident? Did her children get hurt? And you didn't have any more details about what she was referring to?
I don't know if she mentioned at that time that Betty had gone to Dad's house. I don't know.
Okay, well,
But I did know that Betty was very upset and very didn't know what to do.
My question, though, to you is when Diane Black was talking to you originally, before you called the defendant, didn't she give you some information of the nature of the tragedy, that there had been a shooting, that people might have been hurt? Or did you just have some vague idea?
She didn't tell me very much, because the conversation was brief, because she wanted to make other phone calls and wanted me to contact Betty and, to talk with her and see if I could get over there to talk with her.
Did you have any idea that it involved a shooting at that time, though, before you called back Elizabeth Broderick?
I may have at that time. I don't recall right now. I may have. I don't recall.
When you called her, you got in touch with her there at this phone booth in Claremont, correct?
Right.
And she answered the phone immediately. I mean, she was waiting there by the phone.
Yes, she answered them.
And you indicated that she told you that she had been over to the house and had fired a weapon, correct?
That's right.
Okay, now tell me, how did the conversation start? You said "Hi, Betty, this is Ronnie," what was the next thing that was said?
I don't recall exactly what was said, but what's wrong or something, and she's said that she had been over, I think, to dance and had fired a weapon. She didn't know if she hit anybody or not, and she was crying. She was disoriented, just
Did you
totally
ask?
beside herself with not knowing what to do.
Did you ask her for any more details about the shooting?
At
About
that
how
time,
she had shot them, or how many?
I didn't interrogate her at all. She wanted to be. She didn't want to be alone. She didn't know what to do, and she asked me if I knew what to do, and I didn't. I was totally devastated.
Okay.
By what had
When you indicated that you were totally devastated, it was obviously clear to you that something very serious had happened that involved the shooting, the possible shooting of 2 people, correct?
that a weapon had been fired. Yes, I was aware of that, and I thought that was a very serious thing.
And at no point that morning, after talking to Elizabeth Broderick, or after talking to Diane Black, or after waiting at your home while she went over to Lee's house, you never called the police, did you?
No.
Now, you indicated that she gave you directions on how to get over there to the Claremont phone booth, correct?
She did, yes.
Now, whose idea was it for you to go to the Claremont phone
It was
booth?
my idea.
And you told her, "I'll come over there to where you are, give me directions how to get there," and she gave you the directions of how to get there.
Right, she did.
And then you left shortly thereafter, correct?
As soon as, yes, she did, talked about what'll I do, and she said, "Oh, I know, I'll call Lee." And then she hung up, as I recall, and I got dressed and got in my car and drove over to the phone booth.
Did she tell you anything about what she had been doing between the time of 5:30 in the morning and the time that you talked to her, which was approximately 7 o'clock?
No, she did not.
Did she tell you anything about why she was at that phone booth in Claremont?
No, and I didn't ask. It just seemed as though she had just turned off and stopped there and started calling people.
Okay.
I didn't ask anything further about it.
Now, when you drove over then to the phone booth in Claremont, and she was not there, correct?
If your friend called you at 6:30 in the morning, I know they don't have, well, there are still phone booths out there. Very rare, few and far between, but they still exist. But if a friend at that time called you from a phone booth at 6:30 in the morning, you're not going to ask them why? I don't believe that. You're going to be like, "What's wrong? What happened? Why are you at a phone booth?" Obviously, she knew she needed to go over there, and then she wasn't there. But I don't ever, that would be the first question out of your mouth. Okay, what's going on? What happened? At least that much. If you, I don't know. Not looking good up there. What jail do I have to pick you up at? Yes. Flashman, they are still around. And my mom and dad's little town of 600 people in Nebraska that they grew up and went to high school, grew up in and graduated high school. When I went back with my dad for reunion, there is one of, I don't even know the company name anymore that had it, but there's a phone booth. Well, it's not a booth. It's like a half egg dome that the phone sits in, and it still worked. I just didn't have anybody to call because I wasn't not going to put money in there when I could call for free on my cell phone, and I only had long distance numbers in my phone. So, I have a picture of it somewhere. Yes, and nowadays I would ask the question, "What's wrong? Are you okay? Why are you at a phone booth?" That's what you would ask today. It wasn't Ma Bell. It was like Southwestern Bell. Something it wasn't a rainbow, but kind of a rainbowy like design on there. I'll have to find, I'll see if I have the picture on this phone in here. I think that may have been it. Well, Gabby, back in the day, there was more than AT&T. AT&T, didn't they want you to reach out and touch someone, which does not go over well today? Yes. If a stranger accidentally called you with this story, I'd ask more questions than this. Exactly, old soul. You feel like if I found a phone booth nowadays and I tried to make a call, I would be just connected to the real operator. There was another payphone in that little town of that was in so the pizza place, it was called Rockets. That pizza place was still in business. My mom and dad grew up and then like went on dates in that place. I got to go and have dinner there with my dad and my aunt, and then some of their friends from high school after one of the reunions, which was so cool. It also had a payphone in there, and I saw somebody use it. It was like, wow, it works. So if I would have had both those numbers, I probably could have called from the other payphone to Rocket Pizza, and they would have answered. Somebody would have answered because they probably would have thought they knew who was calling anyway. It's a little teeny tiny town. And then I would have been there. I remember Pack Belt, yes. My dad's dad had a phone company, obviously not like AT&T, or I would be on a beach somewhere doing something. I don't know what, sipping not martinis, margaritas or something. I don't know. But they had a party line, and my mom used to get so mad because the people would listen on the line, but and then tell on people. Me too. Me too, June. Yeah, that was me. I grew up when you could still get an operator on the phone. You could have them ring the house back if you couldn't get through to see if they were okay and to clear the line. Tell them to hang up. Somebody's trying to call you. My dad's landline, which he still has because he won't get rid of because it's only $2 a month, doesn't work when the power goes off. Like, I thought that was the whole reason you kept it, and it was only $2. AJ, I remember when payphones and using them to call my mother to pick me up, collect. Yeah. Auto baby eats a boy. I don't know what that is. Yes, you could call and get the time and temperature. So you could call time and temperature and act like you were making a call, but you're really just listening to time and temperature. Party lines is exactly what it sounds like, Flash fan. There was other people on the line. So, like when my mom and dad growing up, you called and the operator connected you through the switchboard, but they didn't always they would listen. That's all I'm saying. 8411. Yep. You could still call 811. Call before you dig. Yep, I still no, it wasn't a wiretap. My number in Nebraska, I still remember it. Didn't have to put the prefix for it. Didn't have to put now we have to put the area code and everything. It's not a wiretap. Okay. Oh, wait. Is that when they called collect and they had a baby? And it's a boy? Is that one? I think I remember it. I'll go look, but I think I remember that one. Because nobody wanted to pay. And you wanted to call after 9 p.m. because it was cheaper. You guys that just have cell phones nowadays, that you have no idea. You have no idea how good you have it. Especially if you don't have people or people that would be a long distance call for you. Yes, I remember. I can hear it in my head. Those were always weird to me. It's like KLX. Hey, what's up? Say hi before I walk in and getting locked in during our lockdown tomorrow. You're going to work now? You don't work now. Also, Zach was asking where you were. I said, I don't know. Yes. I didn't have one. Probably should have. My dad probably wouldn't buy me one or something. Just kidding. Never wanted a carrier pigeon. I think they were extinct or something by the time I was old enough. I don't know, Flash fan. Ew. Well, hopefully they got paid for all that time. Yeah, 81. Oh, goodness. All right, hit and play again.
That's right.
Okay. And from that point, then you went to her house because you didn't know how to get to Lee's house. Is that correct?
I went to her condominium first, and she wasn't there. Her car wasn't there. And then I went to her house, and neither her car nor she was there.
And you indicated that you did go into the house for purposes of trying to find her. Is that what you were doing?
I thought someone might be there who might know. Oh, and I was walking up the walkway, actually, when Rhett and Danny came out of the house.
And it was while you were there at the house that Rhett or Danny called Lee, and you had another conversation with Elizabeth Broderick, correct?
I did, yes.
And did she direct you to do anything for her at that time?
No.
You testified that it was your recommendation at that point that she turned herself down?
Yes.
And had you talked to someone else about that recommendation? Did you talk to your husband about that?
I don't have a husband, but I did talk with my friend, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. You have maybe a significant other, is that fair
A
to say?
significant other, that's fair to say.
Okay, and he's an attorney?
Yes.
And it was his recommendation that you recommend to her that she turn herself in? And when you told her that you were recommending that she turn herself in, what was her response?
She was very receptive to the idea. She was afraid to do it. She didn't want to do it alone. She didn't have an attorney. So I told her that I was trying to find one who would come in on a Sunday and would be willing to represent her, to help her through this process of turning herself in.
When you indicate that she told you that she didn't have an attorney, isn't it true that she was being represented by Walter Mond at the time?
I believe he's a family law attorney.
Right.
I believe. I don't think he's.
You're not aware of the fact that Walter Mond has also practices criminal law?
I was not, no.
Okay, did anybody suggest, why don't we call Walter Mond your attorney?
No, as a matter of fact, that wasn't suggested.
Did you touch?
Nobody suggested it. Hey, Danny T. Sorry you snuck in on me. Just trying to respond to a text message. My apologies. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody else? Okay, good. Don't forget to call Walter Mond.
Anything in the house while you were there, other than obviously the phone?
Other than
to
the
talk to her?
phone, I didn't know.
You didn't look through any documents or papers or look through her room? Now, is it correct to say, and maybe I misunderstood, that this phone call that you had from her house was at about 9:30?
As near as I can recall, I believe that was, no, it had to be before that, I think. I believe I testified, if I remember correctly, that when she called me back at my house after I'd gone there, it was about 9:30, something like that. But I believe I believe it was before that time that I spoke with her from her house.
Okay, you spoke with her from her house. You made the recommendation that she turn herself in. And then at that point, you went back to your own home?
Yes, she told me she would call me at home, and she would think about it, and she would definitely call me at home.
Okay, so she didn't ask you to come over to Lee's house at that point?
No, she didn't.
And then it was later while you were at home, were you just sitting around waiting for her phone call essentially?
Essentially, and calling various attorneys. Of course, on Sunday it's not easy to reach them unless they're available by an emergency number.
And then she called you and she asked you at that point to meet her at the parking lot at the UTC shopping center, correct?
Yes, she said she had decided to turn herself in and she didn't want to do it alone. And so we did agree to meet.
Was there any reason that they didn't come over to your house and pick you up, or that you didn't go over to Lee's house and pick her up?
I don't think we probably weren't any of us thinking as clearly as we should, but no, we all just went in 3 different cars and met there.
Now, you indicate that you met at UTC. Did you all then get into one car together?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And it's at this point that she wrote this holographic will, is what you referred to it as.
Yeah. Well, not at that point. Particularly, we were driving to the, I believe it's the North Precinct Police Station, which is near University Town Center.
So this was on the way. She'd already made the decision to turn herself in.
Yes.
And you were on the way to turn herself in.
Right.
When she wrote this will.
Right. We were sitting in the car, waiting, I guess, to do what we knew had to be done, but we didn't have an attorney, so we weren't really comfortable with doing that. But it was during this period of time that she decided to write this
Okay.
holographic will. It was written on a piece of paper.
And she had you.
What is a holographic? Thank you. Yes. What is a holographic will? I don't know. I don't remember anything having, except for on Star Trek, having anything like that. Somebody has to know. It's see-through. Who was she writing it? Like, who's going to read it? I don't know. Okay, good. It's not just, I have never heard of that. I was a virtual one. Flashman. That's what I'm thinking, like invisible ink. Like, she keeps using that term. A total recall type of situation. Good heavens. How about that one lady? She had all the things. I want her to explain what this was, because I have never heard of it. Like, it's see-through paper? I don't know. Oh, look, June's coming to the rescue. A holographic will is a testamentary document written entirely in the handwriting of the person making it, known as the testator? Testator? Okay. Why was she doing that? She was going to turn herself in, not take herself out. Kelly. Today it's, I'm glad I didn't say that, because I could have. I don't understand why she was writing that, because why did she need a will? Unlike a conventional will, which requires a signature of witnesses, a holographic will's validation comes from it being penned by the testator. Something. Huh. Thank you for that, June. I don't understand why she needed a will, period. She could still write a will. I leave everyone cell 16. I don't know. What happened to all our stuff? Hmm. Interesting. Maybe this prosecutor will be nice and get to the bottom of it for us. We have a mystery on our hands. Oh, whoop. June coming back in. A test. I feel like I'm saying that word really, really wrong. A testator is a person who creates a will. Commonly, a female who makes a will is referred to as a testatrix. Sorry. Some do not like this formal title. Oh, some do not follow this formal title. You should not call some woman a testatrix. I'm just saying. You think I mean a testicle taster? A testicle tater. Tater testicle. Testy tasters. So not tater tots. No. But Gabby does like pistachio. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. A testatrix is a holy. That's a new one. That's funny. I'm sorry. That's a funny word. Gabby, I feel like if it's a female, it should have been, or they should have been called an ovaries writer or an ovaries dictator of my wills may not test to her or a testicle. Well, I had to ask the question because I'm dumb. Executor is male. Executrix is a female. Wow, so much learning going on today. What's happening? Why is Betty doing all this? That's what I don't understand. Doesn't seem like she snapped if she's out here making invisible wills. I I don't know. I don't know if she could have said where she wanted her stuff to go or not, if it would have even had to say, if they would have had to sell it for, I assume, I don't know if Mr. Early was a public defender, but she did have some money, I would assume. Yes. Like, why am I learning stuff? It's effing Monday. My brain hurts. I concur, Gabby. Like, I'm con this is weird. Nah, he's good. The only thing I know about testicles is how to cut them off. Did that legally and lawfully in a doctor's office. Just saying. Old soul. She's right. She's just has Casper write it, and it's on invisible paper and invisible ink, and only a ghost can read it. Well, or she could read it. Oh my gosh. A testator or an executor. Now I can't even say executor. And okay. There's so much craziness. Please, somebody, please tell us why she did this. Maybe Diane Black will tell us. Yes. I'm trying to not let any words that should not come out of my mouth come out of my mouth. You have no idea. It's a struggle today. It is a struggle. Gabby, I'm just going to go ahead and say AJ should never say these words ever again because it legitimately sounds like you're saying testicles to me, which I love, but you should just not say them. Oh. Because she did not have a will and she wanted to make sure her children got the money. But I think Lee still didn't get any because Lee was left out of Dan's will. And he never got to change it. I don't know. Carmen. Gabby says she loves testicles. All right, I'm hitting play again. Gabby. I'm not reading that. I can't hit play anymore either. Stop it. Here we go.
You and Diane Black witness it, correct?
Yes,
And it is true for a will to be valid, you have to have two people witness it,
I
correct?
believe so, yes.
Did you read it?
Yes,
What happened to it?
I don't know. I glanced at it at the time, and it was just a short little piece of paper. I don't even know. I think it was yellow, but I could be wrong.
Was it at this time that she was also writing on the photograph of Jason, directions for Lee and asking Lee to do particular things and get particular things at the condominium?
It may have been, but I have no recollection of that at all. I just don't remember the picture. I don't remember anything about that. It may have happened that day, but I don't remember it.
I'm just showing you then what's been marked as People's 65. Do you recognize that at all?
Yeah, that's Jason. Mhm.
Do you recognize the writing on it?
It looks like Betty's writing. Better get to it.
Were you there at all when she was writing these things?
I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this at all.
Was there any discussion at the time when you were in the car, for example, of her leaving the directions for the key to the box in her house and where the hall key opens the security closet and those things? Any
Being
discussion?
written down, no. I think there probably was discussion about, because she's writing her will and she was trying to get those things squared away, but I don't have any recollection of this. I don't know why, but I don't.
Okay. Do you have any recollection of discussions about her putting the friends messages machines must accept collect phone calls on there?
I don't, no.
Did she talk about the fact that she knew she was going to have to be making collect phone calls from Las Colinas jail?
I
So
don't
she was-
remember that on that day. I don't
Okay.
remember it. May have happened. I don't remember it.
She did write that down there. She was obviously planning ahead as far as leaving messages for people once she got into jail, correct?
That's on there, yes.
And where was it that you all went to a phone booth to make phone calls to attorneys?
It was not at University Town Center, but kind of diagonally across the little plaza behind Anthony's seafood restaurant in that area.
And at that point, Elizabeth Broderick was calling and talking on the phone to potential attorneys. Is that not correct?
Yes, I think we both were. Yeah, she was trying to find someone to.
She called or talked to several people
Yes,
at that time,
she
correct?
did.
And ultimately, an attorney was contacted, Mr. Ron Frant, and a meeting was set up with Mr. Ron Frant. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was it Elizabeth Broderick who set up the arrangements for meeting with Ron Frant?
My friend had found that Ron Frant was willing to come to his office and meet with Betty and help her through the process of turning herself in.
Right. But were you
And
there
so-
when she talked to him on the phone?
Yes, I made the phone call and introduced him to Betty, and then they made whatever arrangements they had to make.
And were you there when she made the phone call to Lee, when she called up Lee and left the message that essentially everything was going to be okay? She had a meeting with her attorney. Were you there when she did that?
Yes, because Lee had gone to collect some things. I don't know. I don't remember whether she just decided this is what I need to do or whether Betty asked her to get some things. I think probably the latter. But Lee had gone to the house or the condominium to pick up a couple of things for Betty.
And you're indicating that it was your
She hadn't come back. And so we needed to leave to go down to Mr. France's office. So she did call Lee and leave a message on her phone.
And it was your recollection that the defendant had asked her to get certain things from the condominium that she wanted.
I believe so. I believe so.
Well, the jurors can't hear you. Speak up a little bit now.
Sorry.
Did you hear that last answer, Scott? Okay. You just maybe pull the microphone a little closer to you, ma'am. I've got it turned up all the way.
Is that better?
Okay. Go ahead.
And then when you did you remain with her until you went to Mr. France's office?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Redirect.
When you indicated that you went on walks on the beach, would you ever go Mission Bay or Mission Beach?
Mission Bay and or Mission by the Hilton Hotel, that long walkway, Mission Bay.
Okay.
And we'd sometimes go down to La Jolla Shores, and we'd sometimes walk from La Jolla Shores to the Cove. Those kinds of things.
Were most of the walks in one place?
Yes, actually, they were mostly in around the bay. Most of them.
Recross. Witness please excuse. Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Call your next witness.
I call Diane Black.
He is honest whether the testimony about you in the matter nothing before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Could you please have a civil witness stand?
Good morning, ma'am.
We haven't had church lady all day.
Could you say your full
Puddletown will be sad.
and spell your last name?
It's Diane Black, and it's Diane Black.
Thank you.
What
pretty.
year did you meet? Well, first of all, do you know the woman at the end of council table here, Betty Broderick?
Yes,
And when did you first meet her? If you can remember what year.
I think it was 1988
Okay. And you remember where you met?
at her house.
And how often did you have contact with Betty?
I saw her in person, I would say probably about 3 times a week, except when she was out of town, which wasn't that frequent. And I talked to her probably every day.
During the time that you, at the time that you met her, did she have some kind of her added emotional effect? How was she behaving, or how would you describe how she was emotional?
When I just,
Sustained.
During the time that you knew Betty, was there an overriding emotion that you would see with her?
I saw a veil of depression that seemed to be with Betty the whole time I knew her.
Were you aware of what her main concerns were?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Well, just answer yes or no.
Yes,
Did Betty want custody of her children?
absolutely.
Sustained.
Did she talk at all about her children?
She talked about them all the time.
Okay. And did she convey to you anything in relation to them, what she would like?
I don't understand your question.
Okay. Did she convey any desires about her children, where they should live, or how she felt about that?
Oh, yes, Betty wanted the kids to be back with her. She wanted to provide them an environment where a parent was in the household all the time with them.
Were you aware of things in 1989 that she was doing to try to get custody of her children?
Yes,
And did you see her with her children?
on several occasions.
Can you describe how she was around her children?
Betty's mood was lightened, I would say, not as contrasted. It was gloomy, but no matter what was going on in Betty's life when the kids were around her, she made it real comfortable for them to be with. She put aside her court problems. She left that aside and tried to be just a mom to the boys. And I could see the veil of depression, but I'm an adult.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
And were you around her at all during on her birthdays?
Yes.
And do you remember anything particular that happened on any of her birthdays?
Objection, Your Honor.
I hope the state gets up and says, was she being a good mom or whatever that woman just said when she bumped into Dan's front door when they were in the house? If she didn't know where they were, or when she called and berated her son for 45 minutes because he was begging her to stop saying bad words so she could see them. Or how about when she just dropped him off over there because she didn't want to deal with him anymore? Was that the mom stuff you're talking about? Yes. Thank you, June. Yes, funny. Betty was the one that dropped the children off one by one to Dan. And when her plan did not work, she tried to get them back, and it was just too late. Dan already got custody of the children. Yep. And I ain't sad about it. You're going to go ahead and say she was just being a serious bag of testicles the day she drove her car through the front door. Yes. She tapped gently, just knock, 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 so gently nobody could hear it. Just knock, knock. Betty, Avon calling. Oh. I mean, people once described Lori as a good mom. Yeah. Once. One time. I mean, I'm trying to not make a big deal out of her just tapping the front door. I don't know. She didn't hit the columns. They are big. However, I kind of like them. I would not wear them. But they look good on her. I would say she's pulling it off. But I'm glad the great big giant glasses are going away again. Like they need to. Wow, Gabby's coming in hot, like Betty did. She didn't tap shit, and she also stole the silver afterwards. I mean, can we just say, I don't know, he was robbed, and she basically pulled a B&E. Wow. Wow. Hey, what's up, Weird Debbie? How are you? I will always tell you, I love your name. It makes me smile. I kind of want to know the story behind it, but I love it. Oh, I know. I know it was a style, and it's also the style. It was a style for a while here. The last few years, I feel like these are huge, but they're smaller than my last pair. But I mean, I was like, people, we're going like you're just gonna be wearing like this if we keep getting bigger glasses. Because that's what it says. I ain't calling her weird. That's her name. I'm wrong about a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah, you did. Oh, AT1. Wow. Oops. You had big glasses back then? They were the thing. My mom did too. So did my dad. It's funny looking back on their pictures. And you failed, Flashman. You failed. Don't do that again. We'll put you in timeout. Oh. All right, I'm hitting play because I ain't reading that, Gabby.
Staying so far.
Did you see any problems she was having with her children on her birthday?
Yes.
And what was that?
It was in 1988. Lucy had made dinner for Betty. And I believe Ronnie and Brad and Arette were there. We were all there for a surprise birthday party for Betty. And the doorbell
Think
rang
very
in the middle
little.
of dinner, and it was Dan. And we all listened. No one got up from the table except Arette. He ran to the front door. We were probably about 8 feet away from the front door where we could hear the entire conversation.
Yeah,
And
excuse me, I'm going to object at this point as hearsay and also, if we could approach sidebar.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our noon recess at this time. We'll be in recess until 1:30. I will do my absolute best today that we will start at 1:30. Please remember the admonition. Have a nice lunch.
In the months preceding November 5th of 1989, you described Elizabeth Broderick's emotional state.
Is that a question?
Yes, can you describe her emotional, how she was doing in the months preceding November 5th of 1989?
yes, it was a period, I don't know if it covers that, it was right during the summer when Betty thought that she might be getting custody back. Or she was trying to fight for custody. I think she was more hopeful than she had been in the last year. But as a legal process of the custody portion did not go through,
I'm getting used to it.
Betty's attitude, she seemed really depressed. She seemed more depressed than I'd ever seen her. She seemed more like a person that was giving up on herself. She became more reclusive. I noticed it was harder to get a hold of Betty. I would have to call her children's line in order to get her to answer the telephone.
Did you receive a call from Betty on November 5th of 1989?
Yes,
And what were you doing at the time you received the call?
sleeping
And do you know what time it was?
between 6 and 7.
And how would you describe her emotional state at that time?
I think she was frantic. Betty's first words to me were, "I need help." And she sounded like she was crying. She started rambling on about something that had just happened, and then she would start talking really fast, and all of a sudden she would stop. And then she would do it again. She was incoherent.
Okay, did she tell you about anything that happened?
Yes.
And did that happen right away or in a conversation? If you remember.
She said something to the effect that she had just come from Dan and Linda's house.
And did she say what anything had happened when she'd been over there?
She said she fired a gun. It was dark, and she didn't know whether she hit anybody.
Okay. Did she? Now, what did you do at that time? Did you know where she was?
No.
Okay, and can you explain? Did you talk to her about that on the phone?
Yes.
And what was the conversation?
Well, my thought was I just couldn't believe that she had.
Objection, non-stop.
Sustained.
Go ahead. What was the conversation that you were having on the phone? And this is about trying to find out where she was.
I asked Betty where she was, and she says at a payphone. And I asked her, well, what area of town are you in? And she said she thought it was Claremont. And I asked her where specifically, and she could not tell me. So I asked her to look around and identify buildings around her, restaurants or gas stations. And from where she told me she thought she was, and the thing she was describing, I could figure out where she was. So the next step was I asked her, can you read the telephone number off the telephone to me?
And did she do that?
Yes.
And what did you do?
I told Betty to stay put, and I'll have someone call her back right away, and not to leave the payphone until someone calls her.
Now, after you talked to Betty, did you talk to anyone else?
Yes, I did.
And who did you talk to?
I immediately called Ronnie Brown.
And did you talk to Ronnie Brown?
Yes.
And did you talk to anyone else after you talked to Ronnie Brown?
Brad Wright.
Was that a long conversation with Brad Wright?
I don't think so.
And did you, at some point in time, did you meet Betty later that day?
Several hours later, yes.
And where did you meet her?
I met her in the parking lot in University Town Center.
And who was there when you met her?
Lee and Jason and Ronnie Brown. They were in separate cars. And Betty.
And now, was there a reason that you were meeting her?
Yes, Betty had called me at a payphone. And she called me to ask me if I would go with her to turn herself in.
Okay.
And that was the meeting place.
And what was she like when you met her then?
I think she was in the same state as when she talked to me on the telephone earlier. She was disoriented. She was confused. Betty would ramble on. And there were periods where she would just sit there. She wasn't even physically there. She would just sit there in the car. And the rest of us were pretty hysterical and trying to calm her down.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Objection.
Did she ask your advice on what to do?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you tell her?
That I thought, considering the problems that she had before, she should probably get a lawyer. I was really worried for Betty, not knowing what she's...
Objection, Your Honor, it's time.
Sustained.
Okay. And did you, when you talked about what had happened before, what were you talking about?
Objection is irrelevant.
I'll overrule you next.
Is this in respect to the records and the lawyer?
Yes.
Objection irrelevant, Your Honor. The question is, what did she recognize her that morning?
Let's phrase another question, sir.
Okay. Did you talk to her while?
I think she's like, nodding her head. Don't answer. Thank you. Weird, Debbie. I'm gonna get that story out of you one time or another, sometime. About your name. I'll get the sentence out of my mouth eventually. Maybe. But welcome to the jury pool. I appreciate it. Like we said, come on in. The water's fine. It's fine. Yes. What Gabby said. Woo woo. Sometimes I just read your guys' comments, but I'm not actually going to read it. Like, because they're hilarious. She'll be she'll be a stable person after the tricentennial in 2076. Flashman, I can hear you saying it too. Welcome to the greatest show across the lands. I can't say it like you because I would have to make you read that as a woman because that's funny. Yeah, AJ, we know. Thanks. I'm glad. This is like a Friday stream, which when I used to do Friday streams, they would always go off the rails. Always. They were the best. But I can't do those very often anymore. And so I guess maybe Monday's going to take over for those. Gabby, thank you for the $2 super chat that all it says is testicles. Yeah. Thanks. You're welcome, AJ. I'm here to help anytime. I'm trying to help those chickens. Gabby, also, I told Mr. Hamp that you said I say a word funny, and he said, "How do you say it?" And I said it, and he said, "What's the matter with you? How you say it?" And I'm like, I said, "Because I think I say it slow." He goes, "Well, how does it's vehicle." Okay, I wasn't gonna give it to Gabby. I'm gonna let her hear me say vehicle, but now she's heard me say it twice. Gabby thinks I say that word funny. Vehicle. So he asked me, "Well, how does Gabby say it?" And I said, "She says car." he busted up laughing. A YouTuber added weird to your name because you changed lyrics to the songs. Oh, like Weird Al. Awesome. You're welcome to do that here anytime. Sometimes, though, you may have to tell me what the song is. Well, some do say Flashman looks good in heels, and he has a wonderful woman's voice to read trial transcripts in. It's amazing. Never say never. Also, folks say you're weird because you're allergic to cockroaches. Found out from an allergy skin test. Hey, at least you found out that way. I figured you would like that, Gabby. Because I'm like, I don't think Gabby says vehicle. And even if she did, I had to come up with a better answer. I had to come up with that on the fly. And I was like, Boston, Boston, Boston. Like, how would she say this? And I was like, in my mind, before I said it, sorry, that's Carmen's dog. Rue. I had to say, you parked your car so I could get to car and khakis so I could get there. So I could get just freaking car out. I know you never say vehicle. And I don't know why I do say it. Car in the car park. Also, I told Mr. Hamp that you call frappes fraps, and he looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Yes, that's what started the whole FAP thing on the channel. We had to explain it because Gabby didn't know what that was, and that's why it's just now a thing." So, like, Puddle Down will say, "He ran away." Fap, fap, fap. And it's so funny every time. I am not from Mississippi. That is you. You have a Mississippiana accent and you're not even from there. I have a Nebraskiana accent. I was. I was raised by the cornfield, cornside. That I've now learned about corn sweat this summer, and it has totally messed up everything I've ever thought about my entire life. I wish I could have seen you try to describe that discussion to Mr. Gabby, and then I wish I could have seen your face when Mr. Gabby told you he already knew what that was. I am from Cornside. I am from I just said that about as Midwestern as I could possibly say it. I am from the Cornside. There was even the corn's disappointed in me right now. That was sad. Well, you should go sometime. Oh, that would have been hilarious. I wish I would just could have seen that. I'm not from West Philadelphia, born and raised. Never. I have not ever been to Philadelphia. I should go sometime. Tank grew up in Utah, and when she moved to Washington, everyone told me I had a Utahn accent. Since when do Utahns have an accent? I don't know. I didn't know that Nebraska had an accent. And but when I moved here, I'm like, these people have an accent for sure. Not like a, I guess an authentic Philly cheesesteak from Philadelphia, from Philly, because I've never been there. I think I've had a cheesesteak. I think, or something like it. Yes, Danny T does have a Utah accent. Am I saying that right? Are you Utahn? Italian? There's no I. Of course, I've had Philadelphia cream cheese. Some in my fridge right now. Oh, I bet you got in trouble. 81. I've also been told I have a northwestern part of the country accent, and I have never been there. In California, and that as far like west I've been. I've never been to the Northwest. So I don't know. And then some people have asked if I'm from this country. I'm like, gee whiz. Am I that messed up? Don't answer. First grade after recess, I told the other kids to bugger off. And they were I can't say that, I'll get in trouble, on the playground. And Marilyn thought I had a speech impediment speaking the Queen's English as I was taught. You cannot say the word fark. Gee. Wait. Oh, fark. I wait. American fark instead of fork? Okay, Danny says Utah. You wait, you don't say T's. How do you say Utah? Utah's we are lazy talkers and we don't say T's and leave out letters. Mountain is mountain. Fark. Fark, fark, fark. Spanish fark. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. So there's American fark and there's Spanish fark. Okay. I'm dying. My parents used to play a game named Farkle with Funny. Is that a fark? Where I wish Pedaltown was here because we could change his favorite word, which is fap, to fark, although he probably wouldn't. And he ran off fark, fark, fark. Everyone knows you're from Utah when you try to ask for a fark. They reply and say, "Oh, did you live in Spanish Fark?" Yes. Spanish people like to fark and American people like to fark and fark, fark, fark. The train is off the tracks, people. I apologize. She's even given like this witness, she's like, "Would you shut up already? Just put play. We just." Yeah, I would say they probably did go pale with that last one, and then that probably did think "Bugger off" was cute, but yeah, that's not nice. I know it's not nice. Weird Debbie, I have trouble saying multisyllabic words. Me too, except for multisyllabic. I can't even say that. I cannot say that. Indubitably. Indubitably. I'll say it later by myself. That's right. We are just celebrating Ozzy's great song. It's like I've never really thought about this until the moment of this moment and this conversation. See, this is a learning stream. That's all we do here. And look, where Debbie's gonna I probably still cannot say it. Indubitably. Indubitably. I'll say it later if I'm by myself and it'll be just fine. Your uncle used to say "strimp" instead of shrimp. Yes. Oops. You guys got me. You have learned, if you've set out to learn something new every day, you've done it. And as soon as the stream's over, your day will be complete. There's a commercial with the word "strimp." Wow. Did they eat the shrimp with a fork? And some Philly cheesesteak? I don't know. All right, I'm tired of this lady looking at me annoyed and stuff. A tater, Michael? No idea. Oh, no, they don't say "strimp," they say that word. Okay. A tater, Michael. You love shrimp and clams? I can't. I have to put play.
She needed a lawyer.
Yes.
And what was the conversation?
Well, one of the reasons why I thought that she would need a lawyer is that if she went to jail for using profanities, whatever happened that morning, she would certainly need a lawyer.
And did you talk to her about, now whose idea was it? Did you talk about the legal papers?
Yes.
And whose idea was that originally? Do you remember?
Originally, no, I don't. I remember we were all talking about it at the same time in the car. Lee and Jason, Ronnie, and I. And Betty was just kind of sitting there, and none of us didn't know what to do. And so I knew that Betty had missing files from her divorce proceeding, and those might be the only whatever illegal documents she had might be something that would help her lawyer to turn herself in.
And did you suggest that at some point that she get those?
Yes. Not that she did, but that somebody obtained them.
Now, did Betty at some point in time make any writing a will?
Yes.
Okay. And did you do anything with that will?
I signed it. I signed it as a witness.
Okay. Now, during the time that you were talking to Betty, did she say anything else in the conversations about about what had happened at Mr. Broderick's house? Did she tell you whether they had said anything to her?
Yes.
And what did she tell you?
What she told me was that Dan said, okay, you shot me.
Did she tell you where he was at the time he said that? Or if he had done anything?
No, I just assumed he was in bed.
Objection, Your Honor. Ask for the last portion of your statement. The assumption.
Objection sustained. The answer stricken.
And did she say anything else in regards to a telephone there?
I think sometime during the day, and I don't know at what point, she mentioned that she had ripped a telephone cord out of the wall.
Did she ever tell you that she had in fact shot Dan?
No, she never told me that.
And do you remember where the will was done?
Yes, it was in the car. It was in Jason's car, and we were sitting in front of I think it's the Northern Division police station that's by Anthony's in La Jolla.
Was there a photograph of showing you what's been marked as People's 65 for identification? Do you recognize this photograph? Or do you?
I know this is Jason. I don't remember seeing this at all.
Okay. Now, when you were in the car talking, was everyone quiet? Was everyone making suggestions? What do you remember?
Objection as to answer.
Sustained.
Did she talk to you about a suicide note at all?
Suicide note came up, but as I recall, thinking back, it was Betty's state of mind that led me to think that there might be a suicide note at the house or someplace.
Did I have no further questions.
Cross-examine.
It is true, Ms. Black, and you've testified before that the defendant said nothing to you about any suicide notes. It is your assumption that maybe there might be one.
As best as I can remember, I think that's it.
So she didn't direct you to go to the house and get a suicide note or to go to the condo and get a suicide note. That was just your assumptions.
At this time, 2 years later, I think that's the best I can recall.
Isn't that consistent with what you testified at the preliminary hearing and last year at the trial, though, too?
I believe so. If you can show me the transcript, I don't know. I can tell you why that I thought there was a suicide note.
No, that's okay. You've already indicated that it wasn't based on any specific statement that she made regarding the suicide note, correct?
Not regarding the note, no.
And when you called Brad Wright that morning, you told him that she had just shot Dan and Linda in bed at their home, correct?
I did not tell him that she shot Dan and Linda because I didn't know that.
Isn't it true that you told Brad Wright that?
I don't think so.
Did she tell you, she told you that at least that she had shot at Dan and Linda, correct?
She said it was dark and she may have shot someone, but she didn't know.
But did she not tell you that she had shot at Dan and Linda?
Yes.
So she told you that she had just come from Dan and Linda's home. She told you that she had been in their bedroom. And she told you that she had shot at Dan and Linda in their bedroom, correct?
Yes.
She also told you that Dan had said sometime during the incident, okay, you shot me, I'm dead, and that he said it clear as a bell.
Yes.
She also told you that sometime during that incident that she had pulled the phone out of the wall.
Repeat that question, please.
She also told you that sometime during the time that she was in the bedroom, after shooting at Dan and Linda, that she had pulled the phone out of the wall.
Sometime during the day that she said that she had pulled the phone out of the wall.
Okay, what you're saying is that sometime during that day on November the 5th,
Yes.
she told you that when she was in Dan and Linda's room,
Yes.
after shooting at them, that she had pulled the phone out of the wall.
I don't recall at what point she said she pulled the phone out of the wall, but I remember her saying that she pulled the phone out of the wall, the phone cord out of the wall.
And you said that the first words out of her mouth when she called you was, "I need help."
Yes.
That she didn't say anything about Dan or Linda needing help.
No.
And it was your understanding, based on what she had said, again, that she had been to their house and that she had fired shots at them. She was obviously upset. Something traumatic had happened. You believed that there was possibility that Dan and Linda had been shot at that time, correct?
No, I didn't.
Is that not why you called Brad Wright?
I thought that Betty was having a nervous breakdown. It was so hard the concept of her going over there and even having committed anything over there, whether it was just to confront Dan, was so shocking to me. I didn't believe it.
Well, you knew she'd been over to confront Dan before. You knew of several instances in the past when she'd been over there to confront Dan, correct?
The confrontations that I understood were in court.
Okay. You weren't aware of any other confrontations didn't she tell you about a confrontation in 88? Didn't she tell you about going over there and taking her phone, and that she had called you ahead of time and told you, if they arrest me, I've got my mobile phone here and I'll give you a call?
She said that, but I didn't know it to be a confrontation, and I didn't know it to be she actually did it.
Okay, but she told you that she had done that?
No, she said she was going to do that.
Okay.
And if I call you, but I didn't know whether she did it or not.
Okay. Well, are you saying that when she talked to you that morning and she indicated that she had just come from their house and that she had shot at them, and that Dan had said, "Okay, you've got me, I'm dead," and that she had pulled the phone out of the wall, are you indicating that you didn't have some feeling that Dan and Linda might have been shot?
At that time, I'm not sure what I thought. It was just an immediate reaction. I thought Betty was having a nervous breakdown. I couldn't imagine she'd gone over there. That's why I took the number for her someone to keep her on the phone so I can call Brad to check out the story.
There was, after you talked to her on the phone, then how much time passed before you talked to her again?
Maybe an hour and a half.
And when you talked to her again, it was clear to you at that point, wasn't it, that she was still talking about shooting Dan and Linda and coming from their house, and you were talking about turning herself into the police. I mean, there was obviously some concern that something very significant had happened here, wasn't there?
Well, first she did not tell me. She shot them.
She shot at them.
At them, yes. She thought she did.
Okay.
Okay, and
Because the area was large and she could have missed them. Said no one. Good night, dog mom. Have a good night. Hopefully your work wasn't too horrible. And we'll get to see you again soon. Gabby, where'd you go? Gabby. Thank you for the super sticker, Gabby. I won't make that mistake again. Rock on. I'll probably make that mistake again. You know me. I will. There's no doubt. Did she ever get around to calling an attorney? I don't know if she did or not. Her friends were like all worried about her. Her hair does not look like a bird's nest. I think she's pretty, and she's got her bangs out of the way. And since lunch, wind must have been blowing or something outside, and she looks even better. Did you put the Craig Liner case in Discord? I have not had time to be in Discord much today, so I don't know. His date wasn't that large. Oh, not the witness. I was gonna say, like, what's wrong with her hair? She has good hair. Okay, I'll give you the prosecutors. You read that somebody has Jenny's number, 8675309, and Google had to move the reverse lookup to the middle of the link. Why would they ever release it again? Just keep it off the list. Oh, she's definitely got her shoulder pads on. Yes, that's what's happening over there. Yes, it's food porn. Good. I'm glad you auto-corrected your autocorrect from good. Although, does that mean that you typed that, those 2 words together there, Pedaltown? Because your autocorrect is generally hilarious. Pedaltown. Autocorrect's still working incorrectly. Depends on who you ask, Pedaltown. I think it's spot on. Aw.
She knew that she was in big trouble. That was exactly, I think, her word. I'm in big trouble. I need some help. And so at that point, I'm thinking to myself, perhaps she did go over there and did something, but she had a feeling that Dan was going to get her, that Dan was coming after her.
Okay, when was it that she told you I'm in big trouble? Was that in that first phone call that you had?
I don't think so, no.
Well, let me ask you, you also refused to talk to any investigators after this incident, is that not correct?
Yes, I did.
And there were several requests to talk with you, and you refused to talk.
Yes, for a reason.
Okay, you refused to talk without an attorney present?
No, I needed to speak to her attorney.
Okay, so you had numerous conversations with the defendant and with her attorney, but you refused to talk to any police officers or prosecution investigators, correct?
Immediately after that, yes.
Yeah, well, in fact, you refused to talk at any point up until the preliminary hearing, which was 5 months later. Is that not correct?
That could be true. Her attorney was not available. That was the problem I had.
Okay. And why did you feel that there was some need to talk to her attorney before talking to the police and letting them know what had happened and what she had said to you?
I've never been involved in anything like this in my entire life. I know enough that if I'm going to speak to anyone on any particular type of matter as big as this, there's no way I would not talk to an attorney.
So you felt you had to have an attorney present first before talking to the police
No.
and telling them what had happened?
Not present, but just to give me some guidelines. This is the process. This is what happens.
Well, what about advice did you need from the guidelines? What sort of guidelines did you need from an attorney with respect to simply telling about what occurred as a witness?
I don't want anything to get twisted around.
Okay. Did you take any notes that morning of?
I I love your phrasing there. Yes, of course you are in trouble, you asshat, twitwaddle jackwagon. Hilarious. Also, I've never heard of this song with 7779311. Is that a commercial? A food promo. Okay. I don't know why I did not guess that. This would be the only spot where I would probably push back on the state right here, because she was smart to not talk. She was smart to have an attorney before she talked to anybody. Just for her own protection. Nothing to do with Betty's protection, just for her own. I don't blame her. Take off your glasses. Gabby doesn't like to hit a girl with glasses. Oh, it's not a food promo. A song from 1982. How come I don't know it? All right, I'll have to see. I've never heard of that song. There it is, Peltown. Psycho hose beast.
From what Elizabeth Broderick said to you?
No, I didn't.
Did you memorialize at all anytime after that or shortly after that what she had said to you?
No, actually, I tried to forget it. I wanted to remember as little as I could that day. I didn't want to know any more of the details.
So are you telling us that you think Elizabeth Broderick told you more details, but that you just don't remember them at this point?
I don't really think there was much more. I just remember I didn't ask her questions.
it is true that you did not call the police that morning or call the ambulance or do anything in order to have anyone go over and check on Dan and Linda, correct?
Yes, because I knew Brad would take care of it.
Had you had any conversations with Brad after you talked to him? Did you have any more contact with him that day?
I talked to Brad that morning. I don't think I talked to him anymore that day. I don't think so.
Now, you indicated that when she called you the second time to have you meet at University Town Center, that she called you again from a payphone?
Yes,
Okay, so where, she had called you originally from a payphone in Claremont.
correct.
And then how much time passed until the second phone call?
Guessing, I think it's about an hour and a half.
Okay, so was it your understanding that she had gone to Lee's house between those phone calls?
I don't know. I didn't realize where she was. I needed to call. I called Ronnie back.
Well, my question is, where was she, well, now she was at a different phone
Location.
booth when she called you the second time to have you meet at University Town
I'm
Center?
sorry, she was not at a phone booth. She was probably at Lee's house. I didn't ask her where she was.
Okay, well, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Didn't you testify that the second time she called you from a payphone to have you meet her at University Town Center?
Are you saying I testified to that?
That was my understanding of what she said.
A couple minutes ago, I think I might have said that, and I'm thinking the best answer would be that I can think of. She called me. I knew Lee was with her. I assumed it makes sense she was coming from Lee's house. It's probably Lee's house at the payphone the second time.
And what's your best recollection of the time that it was when she called you the first time that morning?
I have no idea.
No idea whatsoever.
No, I don't.
But didn't you testify that you thought it was sometime between 6 and 7?
I just gave a wild guess, and that's about it.
Okay. Did you ask her what she had been doing between the time that she had come from Dan and Linda's house and shot at them and the time that she had called you?
No.
Do you live in Claremont?
Yes.
Did she explain to you why she was calling you from a phone booth?
No, she didn't.
Did she explain to you later why she didn't want to be driving around in her car and wanted to drive around in someone else's car?
No. No, she didn't.
There wasn't any discussion about the fact that the police might be looking for her and she didn't want to be found during that
She
period
said
of time?
Sometime during the day, but I have no idea when. Maybe it was after we left the police station in the morning. We all
There was a
thought,
period of time, right, that you specifically did not drive around in her car. You were in another car and you were driving around just simply wasting time until you went to the attorney's office, correct?
I'm not sure that's not the way I'd say it.
Well, isn't it true that you had made an appointment for an attorney and there was an hour or two to kill before you could go meet with the attorney and you simply drove around?
We drove around looking for a place to wait to hear from Mr. Frant, her attorney. And we stayed at, I guess we parked over by the pier on Harbor Island. And it was close to the police station, and it would be convenient and easy place for her lawyer to locate us. And we waited. We just sat in the car and waited.
Well, when she told you that she was in big trouble, was that in connection to her telling you that she had pulled the phone out of the wall? That Dan had said, okay, you shot me?
I think it was, I cannot connect it to anything in particular. I just assumed it was from her conversation that she had come from Dan's house and he was going to come after her. She was afraid that he was going to get her.
Okay. Did she say that? You never testified that she said anything like that before.
She said that, and I don't remember what her words were, to tell you the truth. But I had the feeling that's why I didn't believe that anything really happened. I thought, boy, is he mad? He's going to really.
Well, didn't she have the gun with her that morning?
I didn't see a gun. I didn't ask to see a gun. The whole thing, the conversation with Betty when she first called me from the payphone was very brief, just a couple of minutes, just enough for me to get the phone number off the phone booth from her and call Ronnie, give it to her so Ronnie would keep getting on the telephone.
Right, but later on, when you had a lot of time to talk with her, you didn't talk to her about where's the gun, or what did you do with the gun, or exactly how did you shoot them? Or
I didn't. No, I wouldn't. First, I wouldn't want to know. Second, no, I didn't. I was in a state of shock. I'm sure everybody else in the car was as well. But
you indicated that. Well, have you tried to be involved in any way in trying to publicize Elizabeth Broderick's case?
Publicize? What do you mean?
Going on TV, or she had arguments with you about trying to launch yourself through her case?
I was asked to speak on a show up in Orange County. It was about inequities in the divorce court. It had nothing to do with Betty's case. And I mentioned to Betty after that that I was going to join a girlfriend on that. And she thought that that's what it was about.
She got angry at you for doing that, right?
She probably did. I don't think she told me directly. I think she told somebody else. I don't know.
Was she
I don't
upset?
remember. You were the one that told me, your office. Bill Green called me in. I was walking out of the hallway, and he said, "Is it true?" Betty said this. And that's when I heard about the letter.
Well, were you tape recording your conversations with her?
I did in the beginning on my side because I was afraid of later ending up in court and saying, "Did you say this? Did you say this?" And then after a while, I thought, "This is nuts," so I didn't.
Well, these are phone conversations that you had with her from Las Colinas jail, correct?
Yes, but I taped my side. So I knew what I said.
You tape recorded those conversations.
A couple of them, yes. My side, though. It wasn't Betty's side.
And do you,
But then I just
where are those tape recorded conversations?
probably reused on class notes and other things.
You felt the need to tape record them at the time because you were afraid of what you might say, but you didn't feel.
I wasn't afraid of what I would say, but I had seen so many unusual things happen in her domestic case, and any association with it really frightened me.
Okay. And you didn't tape record. How did you tape record just your side of the conversation?
You just
without?
hook up you play if you're sitting in class taking a note from a teacher talking, all you do is you just push the buttons.
Did you tell her that you were tape recording the conversation?
Yes.
And she got angry at you for doing it.
Later on, she said something. Yes. So I said, "Okay, I won't." But it was for my protection. I was uncomfortable. Again, I've never been involved in anything like this.
You indicated that with respect to that it was your opinion that the defendant always made it real comfortable for her children. That was your testimony this morning.
The times that I was around Betty, yes, and the children.
Well, would it change your opinion with respect?
Okay, Debbie, that got me. I'm not going to sing because I can't. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Also, it just dawned on me because I was reading what Old Salt said and I was getting ready to type back to her that these witnesses' names. And the first witnesses, our witnesses today are Mrs. Brown and Mrs. Black. I'm like, that's just strange to have two last names that are close together in the box of crayons from elementary school. We don't have generally Mrs. Brown and Mrs. Black. I'm not making a race thing, so just please don't think I'm going there. I'm not. I'm like, it's like a cartoon. Mrs. Brown went first. Mrs. Black goes second. Mr. Yellow might be up next. I don't know. It's my brain, and that's the way it's working tonight. That's just sorry. Also, I don't have anything else. Flashman, goldfish cat crackers count. AT1, I can't answer your question, but I don't know who is Sergeant Schultz. Is that a TV show? Am I going to be like, duh, when you say it? Aren't you glad there isn't a Violet? Yes. Yes. Thank you for getting my sense of humor. Everything about this trial is weird. It is very, very strange. You see nothing. Good. Hogan's Heroes. I figured it was going to be one of those thingies. No, it's clearly a Utah thing. Okay. You had a teacher named Dr. Blue. Oh, like so sad all the time. All right, come on. We are so close to being finished. Why does it look like we're not? We got about 6 minutes. We can do it. We can do it.
To whether or
Your
not.
Honor, I have an objection to that, Your Honor.
I'd like to be heard side.
Well, you know, are you trying to go into character?
Yes.
The way you do it is head first. You want her
She's
side
only
first?
talking about, she only talked about what she saw, Your Honor.
Well, discuss the sidebar for a minute.
Just come to the sidebar. I can tell you how tired I
Did she ever
am.
talk to you about the fact that she did not want custody in 1985 or 1986 or 1987?
No, there was an objection at sidebar, of people in areas that didn't go into them. So I would object.
May I approach sidebar then again?
Yes.
Based on- You indicated that in the months preceding November the 5th, that your quote was, as the legal process did not go through, that she appeared to be upset about that. What made you think that the legal process was not going through?
Well, by the time the summer had come around, at the end of summer, towards the kids starting to go back to school, if everything, I guess, would have gone as planned, Betty would have had the kids, she would have gone through a custody hearing, and hopefully the kids would be back with her. And those plans seem to be falling through.
Were you aware of when she actually filed for custody, that she did not do that until September of, I believe, September 21st? There was no motion filed until then?
I don't know when the motion was filed, but I know she was talking to the attorney way before then.
Okay. Were you aware of the fact that the legal proceedings were going through, that they were having hearings, that the dates were set, that they were negotiating? that
I remember
depositions were being taken?
there was a lot of, whether it was continuances or postponements, there was something that was keeping the proceedings, that was protracting the proceedings. I don't remember exactly 2 years later what it was.
And this was the information that Elizabeth Broderick was telling you at the time.
She was telling me, and I did see a lot of papers in her house.
Did you see papers regarding the custody motion after September?
I don't recall that at this time now. No, but if you showed it to me, I could let you know if I've seen it before.
When was the last time that you saw her? Before November 5th?
I would say a week before that, a week and a half maybe. It was before, a couple of days before she went to Mexico.
Okay, so you were aware that she had gone to Acapulco with Brad Wright
Yes.
the week before, and you were also aware that she had gone to San Francisco with him in October, a month before, correct?
I don't remember that in particular, but
You said that there was this, that she was depressed over this period of time. It is also true that you've described her as being extremely angry over this period of time, correct?
it was more of a situational thing. There was something that happened, like she had court papers. She would get very agitated. She'd be reading them and she would get mad reading them.
Wasn't she angry just about every time you talked to her?
No, I wouldn't say that.
You never said that you knew she was angry, because when I spoke to her, she was angry and upset all the time, each time I talked to her?
It depended what we were talking about. If we were talking, I don't remember saying that. But if she was talking about something that I guess she felt hurt her or was causing a problem in the finalization of her bifurcation and her divorce process and the custody, yes, that made her angry.
You talked to her too about moving on, correct? Didn't you even suggest, for example, that she go back to her maiden name so that she, because of her perception of problems getting representation in the legal community?
Yes,
And she wouldn't do that, would she?
she was proud of the name Broderick and she'd used it for a long time. In fact, she still calls herself Mrs. Broderick.
Well, that's because she can't let go.
Were you aware of any times while you knew her during 1988 when she took kids back to Dan Broderick, when she had custody of them?
Would you please say that again?
Were you aware, you met her in 1988, were you
Yes.
aware of any times during 1988 when she had them, she had visitation of them, and for whatever reason, she took them back?
There is no particular instance that sticks out.
Did she ever talk to you about an incident where Rhett had an earache in the middle of the night, she took him back to Dan Broderick?
I remember Rhett calling her that he had earache and he needed some medicine.
But was that an incident where she was describing that, where he was at her house, he was sick with an earache, and in the middle of the night, she took him back to Dan Broderick?
I don't recall that in particular.
Do you recall her talking to you about a Mitch Miller concert where the boys didn't want to go and she got angry and took the boys back to Dan Broderick's house?
No, I don't recall that.
I have no further questions.
For direct.
Oh, he
I
doesn't.
have no further questions.
Witness, please.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off. I just didn't want it to start playing the next video. So we made it. That video was an hour and 17 minutes. We've been going for 2 hours and 19 minutes. Sorry. But I've had a blast. Absolute blast. But we made it. We made it. That's it. I don't know what you're saying. That's it too. I don't know. And Finn. Yay, Monday. All right. Well, we'll be back on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with, I think we have more friends. I didn't, I'll, if I think it's more friends. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to the end. We still have a little ways to go. So we have friends, I think, on tomorrow, and then Wednesday, I'm not sure if that's more friends. We end with Dr. Park Dietz, which he is on the stand for 4 parts. So he's going to be a week on his own. Or more if it's a dinner with my dad week. Which this week is not. So we're getting there. We're getting closer. I wish tomorrow was Friday, although I don't, because I'm not trying to wish my life away. Plus, I have a lot to do this week. During the day. It's a busy week. I did not know who you were talking about, Flashman, and I still don't know who you're talking about. Oh, Dr. Dietz is a controversial psychiatrist. I didn't know the name you put up a little bit ago. Puddletown, please go get some sleep. But thank you for hanging out with us and letting us corrupt you. We corrupted Flashman too. He told us so. He liked it though. That's all I can say. All right. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. Sorry. Oh, he testified with Mendez, Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy? Holy crap. Dietz. Dietz. Hey, we learned from you. We were not making fun of you. we got a new word from you. We learned. Danny T came in and continued the education. And we learned. It was hilarious. I mean, if it's not offensive to Utahns, I just may add FARC to my vocabulary because it's hilarious. And you can use it in so many ways. Man, I gotta go get my hair colored this week. Good grief. That was bad. It was a weird name. Flashman. Fritzy Civic? All right. We're looking forward to that, Weird Debbie. Awesome. Hey, that's good. I've laughed a lot tonight too, and I love it. Oh, the middleweight boxer. Okay. I got you. I got it. I'm putting it together. So anyway, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we will continue on with Betty's friends. See if any of them can remember things. Tell us the truth. Maybe we'll find one that asked Betty where she was when she called them early in the morning, instead of just driving to wherever she told them to go. And why? Why are you driving there? We did learn We learned FARC. We learned holographic will. We learned we learned a lot of other stuff that I can't remember at the moment because I'm getting distracted. I'm glad AT1. I'm glad. Very much. Been thinking about you. Ash? You can drive to hell? What? I don't know. Ash, I hope we helped make getting ready to move a little bit easier for you as well. That's never fun. Not a good time. Yeah, mountain. Yes, I'm gonna disbelieve Ash on this one. She's like, here's your recommendation. I'm good. And Dr. Henry Lee. All right. Oh, that's what I got it. She told them where to drive to. Well, they apparently knew. Kind of ridiculous. Also, I think the state asked them way more questions than the defense lawyer did. He just like gave up. Like, I don't know. They don't know. I don't know. It's all a thing. Hotels are 1 star there. And is that because you can't leave 0 stars if you want to leave a review? You know what, AT1? I don't ever, all I can tell you is what I will be streaming. I can't tell you anything else because this chat, they just go on their own way. Sometimes I'm talking and they're not even listening. It's okay. I don't care. They keep me entertained. The water in the pool is boiling? Owie. It's been a lot. There was a lot of, I don't know, and coming out of Shanda Vander Ark. Shanda. Carmen always corrects me when she testified, when she was under cross. Oh, no. God, I'm so smart. I don't remember. Oh, hi. Hi, Fiddletown. We need to stream AJ case. I don't want to have a case. I'm good. I don't ever want to be in jail. I don't ever want to be in prison. I don't ever want to be on trial. I don't want to be. Good. Good. You are just fine, Ash. I find you not guilty, and I find you a great influence. So well, okay, you can do that. You can blame Gabby. Yes, she blacked out. She just blacked out and forgot to feed her kid and stuff. Yes. She was blacked out and catatonic, and you're married to the Pope. Everyone is guilty of derailing the chat. It's fine. I'm good. I'm good. And Gabby's like, I'll take the blame. I don't care. And of course, Flashman is guilty of not having chicken. That's because I saved the chickens from Tink and from you. And on that note, I'm losing my voice. I think it's because I've laughed too much and I've talked too much. So I'm going to go and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great Tuesday and I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. So that's all I got. So bye.